Welcome to Buzzbait, your wave of something new every week. I'm your pants pooper, sheet shitter, excreting excellence. You can call me whatever you want, as long as you still call me your host, Laura, and with me are my co-hosts, who also probably pooped their pants in their adult life, but don't put it out on the internet, which is definitely
I'm
the
pretty
smarter
sure
thing to do.
I've talked about how I've definitely shit myself recently.
Recently?
But like when I mentioned it on the podcast, I was like, yeah, it was like last week. Oh yeah, I did, because I told you guys about the oh, I can't think of what it's called. The restaurants where like they cook the food in front of you on like the big grill. What the hell are they called?
Hibachi.
Hibachi. Yeah, I shit myself at a hibachi restaurant. I mentioned that on the podcast when it happened.
Shitachi.
All right, Laura, what are we talking about today?
Not shitting our pants, but that's not what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, we are not talking about shitting our pants, but we are going to be talking about shit. We're going to be talking about
bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit for sure. We're going to be talking about video games and kind of, I guess, where they at or where they are at right now. Because, I mean, the gaming industry has blown up to, I think, proportions that I think no one could have ever seen coming. I just mean, like, from when gaming, I'm talking, like, from when the NES came out.
I'm talking the last 20 years. The last 20 years, people have been like, what the fuck is going on with gaming?
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about, like,
from the beginning, yeah.
From the beginning, no one could have ever guessed, been like, oh, this is where gaming is at? That's crazy.
No, the article that I've got is, so most people, when they think about the crazy shenanigans going on with the gaming industry, it's like, oh, it's just like the big AAA studios. I got one article about, I shared it with Laura before, about the Ashes of Creation studio admitting that they were not laying off employees or they weren't laying off their employees because that implies that there is an economic hardship. They were just firing 13 people and didn't want to elaborate why. So, like, that's a big studio doing something stupid, and we can go into that further in a bit. But the other thing I found that did surprise me is an indie studio was caught hiring 3 voice actors, paying them to do like a couple hundred lines, and then they were caught using AI to retool and edit their voices so that they didn't have to hire any more voice actors or pay the voice actors they did hire for any extra work, and just have the AI create extra voice lines for the other like couple hundred characters they wanted in their game. Serene Questwork, making the game Castle of Secrets. And
not buying Castle of Secrets.
Yeah, the 2 voice actors who like called them out on it got banned on their Twitter, on their Steam page for like forum discussion or whatever, and they're just not allowed to interact with the project in any capacity anymore because they've been banned on like every potential communication method.
That's crazy. If the AI, if the usage of this AI didn't already make people look at them in a certain way, banning the people that have worked with you on this project from speaking out is going to make it look worse.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if you just go through as like a creator, I wonder if you have to like create a reel and basically say every word that you could possibly think in existence, like literally like go through a dictionary and then copyright, because once you record it like yourself and you have a hard copy, I know music is copywritten like immediately as soon as like you have like something recorded, which is why there's that that 2 guys, they created a program where a computer basically created every single melody possible, like every combination of sounds that you could possibly have, and then they use that so that anybody who wants to make music, and then they use something and then someone tries to, like a big artist tries to sue them for like, oh, you took my, sound, you took my track, they go, well, technically we own everything and no you didn't, and like keep people from being able to be sued for this is for me editing later. Focus the fuck up, bitch. Fucking stop it. Get the fuck off your phone right now. I know that you took a 10-minute break after editing for 5 minutes, you dumb bitch. Get back into it. Yeah, that's for me. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be for me editing. That's me motivating myself in the future. Later this week, fucking Wednesday probably. Fucking fight me, bitch. You can't. Fuck you.
I'll hop into my article because I think it's I feel certain ways on it. So I'll share it into the into our chat so you guys can see it. But some prisons are using VR headsets to help prisoners that are in solitary confinement.
Hey, that's actually a positive thing, I feel like.
It is, and they talk about how it helps the prisoners kind of in a like mental and emotional way. It's just that the image of if you click the article and scroll down a little bit, or I can share it. But it's just the image that they put in the article of like these prisoners just sitting in a cage with the headsets on, and then like and then the guards or the COs there kind of it literally just looks bad.
I'm gonna post this in the server for the episode.
There's no there's no like arm room. He's like sitting. I wonder if it's more of a concern of like you're in a confined space, so you're only doing things in a confined space so that you can't like strike out. But also, what's like that purple or pink scarf that he's got on? What is that? He's in like shorts and like all white outfit.
That's probably just a pink scarf because the other guy doesn't have one, so I think it's just a style for him.
Prisoner style? Accessorizing in prison?
Hell yeah, dude.
Interesting.
Because one guy's got a blue scarf too, so
they talk about how they are using the VR headsets to give them like aerial views of like a cove on like a lake shore or something.
I thought it would be like for human interaction so that they weren't psychologically damaged. I would think it would be like social.
It's like I was going to say they were going to be like in a boat with a man like fishing. It's less like they're actually in a video game and more that they're just kind of taking them out of the prison and putting them there and dropping them in Google Maps somewhere. That's kind of what it's like.
He looks so sad in that like one picture. The one guy, he's got like the throat tattoos and the beanie on. He looks like he's sad, doesn't he?
Well, these are prisoners in solitary confinement.
Yeah, I'm just saying like I don't know what they're showing him, but is it helping in any way if you're sad?
Sabra Williams, the founder of Creative Acts, which is the organization behind all this, says that the VR stirs up triggers, traumas, and emotions, and that if you're not mindful of your body in prison, that can lead to conflict. And we are aware of the amount of space that we have, so we try to get them to like not fidget a lot, which is also why they're in those tiny little cages. And that's why I'm saying like it sounds good, but
it looks pretty bad.
It looks really bad.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. That's fucking rough to see. But I do know like that they are like in general like introducing more technology into prisons and stuff, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. I mean, it definitely occupies some time, but I don't know.
I think incorporating more technology into prisons is a good thing, especially if you have people that are going to be there for like 30-40 years, because they can use that time to be introduced to it, get familiar to it, so that way when they're thrown out in the real world, they're not like confused as to what the fuck a BlackBerry phone is,
That's
Right.
very
Right. Well, I mean, that makes sense. And like, especially like if they're like serving like incredibly long sentences, but they do have like a chance of like parole and release.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who's been in prison for the last 25 years and is getting out this year, that's 2,000.
Oh
Like,
yeah, they
that's
miss so much.
right. I mean,
They're gonna be so lost.
I can't even imagine like trying to enter a world or workforce with the level of like technology and the way that things work if you've been continuously in prison for 25 years.
And that perfectly, you brought up a perfect year, because in the article it actually explains that when a person puts on a VR headset to experience a scene, they give an example of like being at the family table, and one of the I think it's like one of the directors of this program says that when I came home, I had to realize that my family changed. I had to learn how to adapt to their lives. And also, they saw me as the person I was when I went in 20 years ago. So, like, one of the goals for this organization is for these prisoners to get a handle on, I guess, the emotions that come with like long-term separation from people that they love, and just kind of society as a whole.
Which I think that, like, and I have been seeing a lot more stuff with as far as like video games being used in therapies and like therapeutic ways and ways to like improve people's lives. Like, I know I've been seeing a lot of stuff about like gaming addiction lawsuits and like things like that where like people have these problems with video games, but also like the speed at which today's children's minds move and process information, because of the technologies that we have and that they're exposed to from such an early age. I mean, using those things for like people with like ADHD. I've seen a lot of like games that are like being like FDA approved to treat and help with ADHD, and I'm like, that's a really interesting concept. I haven't personally played any of the games, but I've thought about like looking into, and it's supposed to literally like help the rewards, like you train the reward system in your brain to help your focus overall, like out in the real world. And I'm like, that's an amazing tool. And it gives you that sensation of like playing a video game, which holds your attention. Because like that is a big thing about video games, is that people are looking for that reward from playing it. They're feeling something, they're experiencing something, and that's why people fall into such an intense hobby. A lot of times, like I saw a video like posted where someone was like, "Oh, like realistic like advertisements for games I play," and it was like Stardew, and they were like, the desire to own your own home, and like things like that, and it's like, I think there was like just like a couple of things like Sims, like, oh, like a safe and healthy family life, like that you have control over. I was like, Jesus, okay. But like, like things like that. And I'm like, I mean, people get that from these things. They get like a fulfillment, and like not just like an entertainment the way that you might get, from like a show or a movie. You have like a short term entertainment, um, or like excitement from something, but they get like a reward center in their brain is triggered like when you progress and you do quests, and you the effort that you put in usually has some sort of relatively immediate reward, and so your brain responds to that. So then they basically use that for things like helping you get stuff done. And I think that's why things like Finch, I don't know if you've ever heard of the app Finch.
Nope.
Again, people with like ADHD, neurodivergence. I know a couple people who use it, like at my work and stuff. You get like uh, like the little Tamagotchi, almost like little pets that you used to be able to carry around. And you had to like feed them and take care of them and stuff like that, and you could get little things for them. It's basically like a little pet, and you give yourself tasks to do throughout the day. So like some people go as specific as like, wake up in the morning, brush my teeth, get ready for work, go to work, be at work, drink this much water, do my laundry, fold the laundry, put it away, and they give themselves these little tasks, and as you complete tasks, you get points to then go and get stuff for your little pet. And like people do this, and like it helps get them into routines, and it helps like keep them in this like mindset of like, I'm getting a reward for doing the things that I already want to do, but I have like no motivation to do, and the motivation then comes from this little game that they get to play. And I'm like, I think that incorporating more of those things into lives where people are feeling like less and less fulfilled, you know, or like, I think that there's like an increasing like futility thing in a lot of people's lives. Like the efforts that I'm putting forward are not going to equate to any substantial gain in my life, in real life. I mean, people are dealing with that a lot. And so using games and stuff like that to kind of like hack your brain to keep you going is kind of dystopian, and yet overall a net benefit to the quality of people's lives, and therefore kind of approve of it.
I was just gonna say that it is a little dystopian, and I wanted to go back to what you said earlier about like kids like being exposed to technology you know, pretty much earlier and earlier these days. That I saw a video the other day, I think it was like actually yesterday, about this teacher. She teaches, I think, like first to like fourth grade, so that like elementary age. And she was saying how kids these days, like it's really hard for her to teach just in general because these kids have been exposed to so much technology and so early, that they have basically been fed just a stream of dopamine since they've been born, that going to school, it's nearly impossible to teach because these kids cannot be bored. You know, like I was like, I know the three of us, we can all just be bored for a little bit. Obviously nobody wants to be bored for like fucking 4 hours. Right. Sometimes it's avoidable. But that like kids cannot be bored. At least kids now cannot be bored because they've been fed these constant stream of dopamine that they are always doing. They're always doing something to get that dopamine hit.
But that's genuinely like how I live my life though, as someone with like ADHD. Like I it's not boredom necessarily, but some form of like stimulation. Like even if it's not something that's like necessarily making me happy or like engaging me, as long as there's enough of it, I'm going to like be okay. If I don't have that, it's like, ugh. And so like if that's what kids are experiencing, if we're basically like giving them like a level of like ADHD because their brains are used to a certain pattern of like information or stimulation, and like then they're in a classroom, like I can't imagine with the amount of like stimulation that I currently have, if I had to go back to a classroom where I couldn't do something else like while I was in that coursework or classroom, I would lose it. I personally right now would lose it, and I did lose it like when I was in high school and stuff. I wasn't performing well because I was like blah, because it's not that kind of environment, you know. It's just not. Did you know?
I also saw a graph like right after that video that it shows how do I say it? How do I say it without sounding bad?
With your mouth usually.
The probability, well, if it comes out my mouth, it's gonna sound bad. I'm just a bitch. It's like the probability of mental illnesses being passed down to kids. It's like which one has the highest quote unquote percentage of being passed down, right? And ADHD was highest on that list, and it wasn't even fucking close.
Hell yeah, brother.
Like to the what would the second one was.
I think there's like more than like a 75% chance. I think it's like a super high percentile that you're going to pass if one of your parents have it, let alone if both of your parents have it. Because here's the thing, I don't think that my mom or anyone in her family necessarily has ADHD. I do think that on my dad's side there is some sort of like neurodivergence or like thing. Like my mom has other mental illnesses on her side of the family, like narcissism and all that. Like her even her grandmother like was super crazy. I told you about that shit, I think.
Yeah, who could have seen that one coming? That's crazy.
Which is crazy because my grandmother, like, beautifully normal for her family. Like, so relatively speaking, wow. I'm biased, I'm sure.
What?
Because I love my grandmother so much, and I do think that she's a beautiful, wonderful person. But generally speaking, I think by anybody's standards, she's a normal person, which is amazing.
I'm trying to find the video of the teacher that was like, you literally cannot teach kids.
I mean, that's all. There's so many of them. There's so many of them, though. I can't imagine. And like, and then the things they're making it even all that much harder. But that's the thing is like our way of teaching has always been behind the ways that we formed our schools and the mindset that we have. We know is like actively wrong, and yet we don't facilitate the best learning because we think that if you don't learn this way, then you are not really worth our time or energy to put in. If you don't learn this way because we want you to function a certain way, and so if you don't learn this way, you're not going to function that way, and therefore we're not going to put the time and energy into teaching you.
Right.
Because you're not going to be the productive member of society that we envision we want. And it's really hard because when you say that, on the ground teachers are like, I don't see that as the system, minus the fact that they'll sit there and they'll tell you, well, yes, I am teaching too many kids, and yes, I am constricted to teaching them in a specific way. And then you go, oh, right, so that is true. That's the system that's in place. And it's like, yeah, you're just a cog in the system. You may not feel that way. You may want to try the hardest that you can to work with all these other kids, to get them all to a certain level, to let them progress in life. But the way that we go about teaching kids tragically, and it's not adapting, it's not getting it's not getting better fast enough. And I think that that's really, really scary, is like what is the education system going to become? What are we learning? What are we actually getting out of this system, and what are we going to produce in future generations? And not in like, they're going to be so much worse than us, you know, like fucking boomers who are like, y'all are fucking dumb and we're smart and we know what we're talking about.
Right.
And y'all kids just can't fucking go without your cell phones. And it's like, well, what can I do on my cell phone? I can literally...
So funny. I have every like boomer or like older adult that's like, you kids these days can't live without your cell phone, are immediately like the second after they say that, and it always drives me nuts. And it'll be like, it's like someone will ask like, hey, what's the weather like, and I'll be like, oh, let me check my phone, and it's literally always me saying, well, let me just check my phone to answer your question. And then somebody older will be like, you kids and your phones, you wouldn't survive, and then they're immediately on Facebook.
But it's like, what did you want me to do when you asked me here in person in front of you without a fucking farmer's almanac to tell you what the weather was going to be? Yeah. What did you think I was going to do? You knew what I was going to do because it's the only reasonable thing in today's age to do. Like, what? Crazy. We're getting off topic from video games here for a second, but I do think that video games can be used to really genuinely like improve people's lives and kind of like brain hack. And like I said, it's dystopian to be like, well, we can't film it in real life, so let's trick our brains into feeling fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
But tragically, I mean, if it will improve my day-to-day quality of life because it will enable me to do more and like do the things that I want to do and increase my personal productivity, so I don't have to be like, I'm a piece of shit who didn't do the dishes after I got home from work because I didn't want to.
I'm not saying incorporating video games is bad. It's just that
dystopian. No. It's like in and of itself, the need to do that because of how our world works is in fact super shitty. But the actual act of it could be a net benefit to
when I was in middle school, they in my school they incorporated this it was like a math video game. You could go around and like shoot other people. It was like with like a paintball gun or something. Like it wasn't like some bloody gruesome thing. It was like you could, you know, tag the other team with like your paintball gun or whatever it was. But then the goal of the game was kind of like capture the flag, but you had to go into like the enemy base and you had to solve a bunch of like math problems within a certain amount of time, and then you got their flag and you could take it back to your base, but the enemy team could like, it was like the paint slowed you down or something. I wish I could remember what the fucking game was called. It was like Dimension X or something.
Sounds like the next Ben 10 reboot.
Dimension U, esports for education. That's what the fuck it was called.
Esports for education. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, dude. Holy crap, this game looks awful. I'm just gonna send the link into the chat here. I just want you to click on that link and look at the picture. Tell me this doesn't look like,
oh fuck,
I want to say a Roblox game, but Roblox games look better than this now.
Yeah, they sure do. I mean, we fucking played Dress to Impress. It looked better than that.
Crazy stuff.
$25 too. What the fuck?
Absolutely wacky.
Meg, would you like to hop into your article here?
Yeah. SAG-AFTRA actors strike set to continue as union warns of alarming loopholes for AI abuse in latest proposal. Update, game company negotiators respond. Yay.
You mean to tell me AI is coming to video games?
We have proposed a deal that includes wage increases of over 15% for SAG-AFTRA represented performers in video games, as well as enhanced health and safety protections, industry-leading terms of use for AI digital replicas in-game, and additional compensation for the use of actors' performance in other games. So basically, similar stuff to what was talked about earlier, like I said, where they're trying to just fuck voice actors over. Steal their shit.
The long pause after you said fuck, my brain was just like, what an interesting way to describe this.
They're just trying to fuck out here.
They're just trying to bang, dude.
Yeah, dude, if we put AI in the video games, then we can free up our schedule for just boning.
For more sex. We develop video games, we're already swimming in it.
But I guess, I mean, the union is trying to be like, hey, we won't allow like SAG-AFTRA voice actors into your projects unless you agree to these terms, and that is not to fuck them over with AI. But then I'm still like, what about anybody that's not in that union? You know, like what about people who don't have enough projects, the people who are trying to start out, and so then they're like, oh, I'm desperate to get into this world, and so give me the jobs that I can get, and then they get into the jobs and they fucking take them,
their voice is stolen.
Right, and like, I mean, you hear that all the time, like even like people who do voice acting for ads and stuff like that. One guy, he was like, I literally heard an ad and I was like, that's my voice, but I didn't get paid or do that ad, and they had
just so scary
scammed it.
Yeah.
Literally,
that's why there's
literally stealing your voice.
That's why there's a new thing going on with like all those spam calls, where like you'll go to answer it and it'll make like a little click or a beep noise and then nothing else will happen. They're expecting people to like respond and say something, and apparently all they need is like 15 seconds of you talking on the other end of the line, and they can like take your voice and start using it to try and like authorize horrible things.
Yeah, scam.
Yeah, like go to your bank and use your voice and be like, hello, I'm calling about getting the money out of my account.
I heard for a while they were doing that kind of stuff where they were just taking your voice though, and then they were getting in touch with like relatives that you maybe don't get in touch with too often. My dad got one of those calls where they're like, "We have your brother, you know, he owed us money, or like he hit us with like his car, and we're holding him until." And my dad was like, "I might have to go kill somebody," and his brother didn't answer the phone when he called him.
Oof.
And so he was like,
yeah, that's
you gotta send us like $2,000, and he was like, I better get a hold of my fucking brother, otherwise you're gonna fucking die.
Yeah, that's the tough part. Is like for stuff like that, it's one of those things where like it would be very effective at some times, but like if they try to do that shit to me, like, we've got your brother, you need to send us $2,000. Like, I don't know why the fuck my brother gave you my number then, because that motherfucker knows I'm broke. What the fuck are you talking about?
All right, tell him I said goodbye.
Yeah, like, all right, like, I guess tell him, send him a hug from me, because like, fucking rip, dude. I don't have $2,000 to just give somebody. What are you talking about?
That's what's tragic.
And then they're gonna use your voice to spam other calls. And be like, you owe me $2,000.
They're gonna use my voice to then call my mom and be like, we have both your sons. Send us $4,000.
And it's just you going like, rip, goodbye. And your mom's like, that's my call.
See ya.
Honestly, if my mom got that call and like, here's your son saying that he needs money, he's like, I'm not asking my mom for money. What the fuck? I'll just die. She'll be like, damn, you really got him. You got my boy.
But that's the thing. That's what sucks is like between me and my other sister, like my brother would definitely give my name to pay his ransom over, because he's not giving my dad's. I mean, he doesn't get along with my dad. So he's going to give my name. My mom's in fucking France. She's not going to be able to help. So he's going to give my name and number if, like, he does get kidnapped.
No, dude, that's how you get him. That's how you get him. You tell your brother to give them your mom's name so that they get charged an exorbitant cost to make the phone call.
To France. You're right.
Wait, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah, I've got a rich mom in France. Call her. And then they get charged and she goes...
No, don't warn them that she's in France. Yeah.
Just say you have a rich mom and she's going to handle it.
Just be like, don't worry, my mom's really rich. You just have to call her and then give them the phone number. And then, like, it's going to take a while because you got to wait for that phone bill to come in, but they'll get what's coming to them.
Damn right.
And she won't pay the ransom anyways, so... They'll be like, we spent so much and we didn't even get paid.
They're going to go through all that work, and then your mom's just going to be like, I don't care. Don't call me again.
I don't care.
Like, I literally left the country. Fuck
I fucking abandoned those bitches. Before our question, I'm gonna plug the Discord actually because it has been popping and it's been a fun time.
Yeah,
watch movies
really
sometimes.
Fun gamers. We got
we game. If you're a queer lady, ton of queer ladies in there.
I think that all but
one.
No, technically 2. Salome's not. Salome and Kat, not queer. And then so everybody else. And there's like 11. There's like 11. So then there's 9? Those odds, 9 out of 30 people in the chat are queer women? Those are great odds for like a gaming focused chat, I feel like.
Yeah. DEI. That's the Katana Fish chat.
Are you hearing about these DEI hires? Are you affected by DEI layoffs? Come to Katana Fish. We got you, fam.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Everybody who's out there like DEI is no good. It's bad for business. Listen. Just say that you don't like talking to women, my man. Just say that you don't know how. It's okay. It's all right, my man. It's okay. You just don't know how to talk to girls. You don't know how to be around them. It's all right. I understand. Not everybody's got the gift.
The Riz.
That's true. That's so true, actually.
Like, that's the only thing I can think of when it's like, DEI hires are it's just ruining my company. It's like, you just don't know how to talk to women without looking at your wife and talking about how much you hate her. I get it.
Do you look at your wife and go DEI hire? Like, come on.
Was I hanging out with one of you guys, or was it somebody else where we were just playing a game and it was like dudes in the 15 or dudes in like the 50s be like, damn, I hate my wife. They go home, they're eating dinner, they just look at her, it's like, I fucking hate my wife. In addition to plugging the Discord, I will plug that I work fully remote, so I'm happy to be a trophy husband. If anybody wants to wife me up, I got you. Or husband me up. I swing for all teams. I'm on the field. Somebody just marry me, please. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this shit.
I feel that. I'm also accepting applications for a wife.
Like, I'll go to work, and while I'm sitting here at work doing my job, I'll go toss a load of laundry, and I'll get everything. I'll sweep up and mop the house. I'll take care of it. Just
for the moment,
buy me treats.
We can get married, I guess, but we're only doing it for the tax benefit.
Understandable.
What tax benefit do you get, though? Really?
You get more taxes.
Yeah, if you file as a married person, your taxes go crazy.
Yeah.
Especially if you like pop out a couple kids. That shit goes bananas.
Yeah,
like,
the kids
filing single versus filing married is crazy.
I thought the standard deduction. I thought the standard deduction was the same.
Nah, it changes something.
No.
Maybe the bracket for income, so you're not increasing your tax bracket as quickly. Maybe because like they have like a staggering tax bracket. Hey, it's tax season, everybody. Well, we're currently talking about this, but probably not when we're releasing this.
So the way that it works in February is if you are a married couple and you file separately, this can result in you owing less taxes. But if you know that you're paying more, then you can file jointly and you will receive more taxes. But if you know that you're probably skimping under the wire, you're better off filing separately. But if you know for a fact that you are higher, like you've paid more in, then filing jointly will give you more money.
Also, if I get married, the schools will give me more money.
If you've got like a stay-at-home wife, right? If they're not making money.
I remember just looking at like just single. I didn't look into do they have to make money. It was just if I married and I file for FAFSA, how much will I get? And it's like so much more than just filing as single. I was like, fuck. Here's the thing. We can get married. I don't give a fuck if you're over in like China or Russia or fucking Indonesia. I don't care. We can get married and then fucking not see each other. I'm cool with that. We can be in different states, continents. I just want the benefits.
That's not what I'm looking for. I would like just like a person to move forward in life.
I'll find that while I'm married to this person in a different state.
Then you have to go through the process of divorce, like when you are ready to like how do you explain that? Like, yeah, I'm married to someone, but it's just for tax benefits, and I promise I live in a different state.
That's exactly what you say.
But yeah, like how
something I've always
I would be suspicious
to any relationship that has ever asked, like, oh, would you ever want to get married? Because the topic comes to like, well, what kind of ring would you want? I hate wearing rings. Like,
that's not very gay of you.
Full context, I fucking hate wearing rings. So I've always said that if I get married, I would just keep it on like a necklace. Especially because I can't, like, my job, I can't wear a fucking ring. So I would have to put it on a necklace anyways if I wanted to bring it to work with me. Right? So I would put it on a necklace and wear it that way. So if I get married to somebody in a different state because they mutually want the benefits that I also want, then I just wouldn't get them a ring because I don't love them, we're just getting married for benefits. 2, I wouldn't wear the ring if they got me one. I'd be like, fucking go to a pawn shop, get your money back, right? So I wouldn't have to explain that I'm married for a little bit because I wouldn't look married.
Yeah, but you're dating someone, like, at what point? What do you mean for a little bit? Like, at what point
for a little bit.
You explain, hey, I actually am married for tax benefits? Like,
because if they bring it up, if they're like, hey, would you want to get married? Then I'm like, so fun fact, I already am, but this ain't cheating. We're separated.
Like, because, like, how long is your relationship going on before they're like, are you interested in marriage? I don't know how.
It depends on the person. Some people won't bring it up because they also aren't interested. Other people, like when I was back in my college days and going on dates, I had a girl mention it on the first date, like right away. She was like, "Are you like, would you be interested in getting married someday?" And I was like,
yeah, second or first date.
I was like, I'm gonna pay for dinner and then I think I'm gonna leave. That's a wild thing to say to me on the first date. Like if I get
I can imagine if you're like, would you be interested in marrying me? But like marriage at all, I feel like not like, because like you want to know if the person you're going to be in a relationship with is looking for the same overall life goals.
No, she was specifically saying like, would you be interested in getting married in the future? On the
to that person.
On the first date. And I was like, I'm gonna pay for this meal and then I'm gonna block your number because that's insane.
Yeah.
I was like,
it's a valid question. Yeah, it's just like, not first date material.
Third date, maybe.
Yeah, third date.
After we've had a couple rounds to like get to know each other, we've talked a lot in between the dates, and it's like, okay, like, yeah, like, is this something you'd be interested in doing like in the future? And I was like, maybe, like, I'll consider it. But like, if the first date, one of the first few things you say to me, would you see us getting married someday? I'm gonna see us across the street from each other. Goodbye. Take care.
Yeah, I'm gonna see us separated right now. Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah, take care. Have a good one.
See you.
See, I'm glad I'm not dating because I feel like that's not that crazy. Like, are you a person who's interested in getting married one day?
No, Meg, that's not what she was saying. She wasn't saying, am I interested in getting married? She was specifically saying with her on the first date. That's crazy. Absolutely not.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Like on the first date, be like, do you want to get married someday? Hey, listen, lady. We started texting each other yesterday.
Yeah.
And we scheduled this fun little date just to like get to know each other better. I don't think I want to continue that activity.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah. If she was just like, do you believe in marriage? I'd be like, well, yeah, like, you know, I don't know why we have to tell the government that we love each other, but sure.
For the benefits.
Yeah, basically.
Come on.
But yeah, like if you're just like, do you see us getting married together in the future? I'd be like, this is a Denny's.
Bruh.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
We went to Denny's last night because we went to like an early dinner and it was just like, oh dude, like that was so good. And then it got to like 11 o'clock and I was like, you know what would really fucking hit right now? Let's go to Denny's.
Off topic.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Edit it out. Did you want to use is asking to get married on the first date a good question as the question, or did we want to cycle back into a real question?
I mean, I gave my opinion already. Like, that's a weird thing to say on a first date. It's like if you're just talking about like in general marriage, like yeah, we can talk about that, I guess. But like if you're specifically asking if the person you're on a date with already wants to marry you, then that's insane.
The conversation flowed nice. That's why I'm like, do we want to just use that, or
just being like, can you see yourself getting married to me? Yeah, that would be a lot.
Yeah, it's like, hey, I know it's like I know that we just started talking like 3 days ago, but do you see us getting married in the future? It's like, hey, do you see the police officers coming? Because I have a restraining order now immediately.
See,
I would have followed up that question and be like, do you see us getting divorced soon after?
See, because like I asked a question earlier. I was like, would you guys judge me if I went like the like mail order bride, route? in life, and you're like, I don't think that you're a controlling piece of shit, so probably not.
Yeah,
judging.
It's totally different when somebody is a like controlling, hates women, incel asshole, and they get a mail order
I'm getting
bride
you to serve me.
Yeah, and it's like, to them it's like getting a slave. Like that, it's very different between that, which happens a lot, and you, who's like, I just want to experience some form of romance.
Relationship, yeah.
Very different.
I've definitely considered it.
You're gonna let her go be your own person.
But the reason why I brought that up is because even that, like, I can't imagine being like moving super fast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I still want to, because like, even like, if I'm gonna like marry someone and like intend to, even if it's only for like we're like, oh well, you know what, might be like a decade, and then as soon as you become a legal U.S. citizen, you decide to move on from whatever situation. But like, even that, I'm like, well, if I'm gonna spend a decade living with this person or like being with this person, then I need to like know more about you. So I can't imagine being like, yeah, do you see yourself marrying me on like one date? You know what I mean? Like, even that is a lot. Like, even if you're going into the interaction knowing like, oh, I'm looking for a marriage partner, to be that early on and be like, can you see yourself marrying me, would be insane to me.
Because like, I'm not gonna like name drop them, but I do have two friends who literally, they've been together for like 10 years now. And I remember like when I first met them, like these are the people that I like used to hang out with when I was drunk and like high, and like they would have like parties for the holidays. And I remember one time I asked him, I was like, you guys have been together so long, why aren't you married? And my one friend just goes, oh, I don't believe in marriage. And she was just like, yeah, it's something that we talked about like probably like 2 months after we started dating. I was like, like, are you interested in getting married someday? And he was just like, oh no, I don't. And she was like, okay. But like, that's a month after they started dating,
right?
So like that would be perfect. That would be like a perfectly normal conversation to be like, we've been together for a little bit now, like, are you interested in like someday getting, like, not like tomorrow we go down to the courthouse or anything, but
yeah, it's good to make sure that your goals align
right
in some way, but doing it, but you gotta like,
yeah, like
know
the only issue I had with it was literally the first date, and we'd barely like started doing like the classic get to know each other thing, and she just goes,
that's crazy.
Would you be interested in getting married someday? And I was like, what? For all you know, I could be a serial killer,
right? Like, I might murder you tonight. What do you mean getting married? I'm planning on killing you in like 45 minutes.
I hate poking at like the whole like stereotype that like men are like awful people, but like,
yeah,
I've talked to you for like 40 minutes in person now, and that's one of the first couple questions you ask is if I'd like to get married. Like, ma'am, it's not safe for you in these streets.
So all this is getting cut out.
Oh, absolutely.
So let's wrap this bad boy up.
Yeah, so thank you for listening to this episode of Buzzbait. What should we keep it, guys? Keep it wavy? Have we said wavy yet?
Let's do something related to video games.
All right. What are we keeping it?
Keep it. I think of no adjectives related to video games right now. Nothing.
Dude, I'm sorry. I'm trying to
think.
I'm trying to log into Bumble, and it made me re-verify my phone number 13 times and still won't let me access the app.
Is that all you've been doing?
Yeah, I've literally just been sitting here, like, I've been listening, and occasionally, like, if I haven't been able to think of anything because like Bumble is being so fucking stupid right now. It's like, oh, we noticed some odd activity, and like, there's no button to confirm when I put in the code. It just says get new code. It's like, I've got the code. What are you fucking talking about? Anyway, no clown girls for me, apparently.
Just stay up with me for a week.
It's a sign. It's a sign.
You'll see
that you're not meant to be with.
It's the only way I'm going to get over my fear, Meg. I need to get that clussy.
Okay,
clown us.
keep away from the clissy, and that's where we end the podcast.
That's where we end it.
Keep it
We're not
clissy.
keeping it anything. We're keeping away from the clissy.
Keep it clissy.
Get clissy.
Get clissy. Get paid.
Hey yo.
Stop.